All right, here we go.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. Welcome to Quality Time, the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. Anthony and Skylar will take it from here. Master Chief, out.
Hello and welcome to Quality Time, the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. I'm Skylar Sokol.
I'm Anthony Nicolosi.
And I'm Joshua Broncoli.
Here again, week two of Josh, the best. We love getting Josh on here, and he's here special to talk about E3, the games and the reveals and the sadness and everything. And I'm gonna make this joke again. We definitely didn't have to restart the recording of this podcast, but there was no Elden Ring at E3 this year. We all expected it. It didn't happen.
And I was saying, Jeff Grubb on his Game Mess podcast stated that apparently Elden Ring was supposed to be at E3. It was supposed to be on Microsoft's show, but basically they implied without explicitly saying, because they didn't want to, Sony but apparently this happens every now and then in AAA space, but Sony kind of told Bandai Namco, you show that on stage, you're gonna have we're not gonna be happy. And so they put it in Jeff's lap. So interesting. Summer Games Fest technically is not E3.
Yeah.
And
that was the joke.
It did get some E3 goodness,
Yep. So anyway, what was at E3 though was a bunch of stuff. Where should we start? I mean, day one had a couple of things, right? Was Ubisoft day one? Maybe we just go in order.
I believe Ubisoft was day one. Yeah,
I'm getting the schedule up. Should have done that at the beginning, but that's okay.
Something. I mean, you could even start like what how you just said Summer Games Fest wasn't part of E3.
It wasn't.
What the fuck's the distinction of digital E3? In my opinion, like if I'm an exhibitor at E3, why would I have paid for whatever I paid for to the ESA for E3 this year? You literally just
you shouldn't have
streamed something.
Yeah. No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
start
start
your own presentation.
I think Ubisoft was one of the first conferences. So
yeah.
Let's start there. Anything you guys remember that was a highlight from Ubisoft?
No.
You need some some reminders. Some things we saw at Ubisoft conference were Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
That's right. That was at Ubisoft.
I will say that the first Mario and Rabbids turn-based tactics game got extremely positive reviews. Some of like unbelievably positive, and I've seen some people who I very much trust in the video game space saying that they're actually excited for this game because the previous game was so good.
Yeah,
okay.
I heard the same thing, although I did hear it had a bit of a difficulty curve issue.
Yeah, that it was really, really easy for a lot of it.
And then it got really hard at some points. Yeah.
So, wait, Ubisoft had the R6 quarantine.
We have Rainbow Six Extraction. It's not an announcement because this has been known for a long time, but it was a gameplay reveal. And, I mean, I'm
interested in that. I don't play Rainbow Six, and I never will put in enough time to, but
this was something that I was confused about because
that's fun.
I mean, I was not under the impression that Rainbow Six had anything to do with aliens.
No, it doesn't. This is a brand new thing. This is a Rainbow Six. So basically, for a Halloween event, they had a zombie mode where you fought off a virus in Rainbow Six, and people liked it enough that they decided to sort of make it into a full game. Now
sense.
For me, I play Rainbow Six for the competitive multiplayer. Turning it into a co-op single player game is just making a worse game for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not that excited for it at all personally.
Definitely feels like it's a different audience. Yeah.
Yeah. In addition to that, we got Far Cry 6,
which we saw three different times. I was so sick of Far Cry by the end of. We saw it before E3, and then we saw on Ubisoft's day and on Microsoft's day.
Yep. Yeah, we saw a lot of Far Cry 6, and I don't know, is this a sign that they're concerned that Far Cry 6 isn't going to sell that well? They've done so much marketing.
They're pushing it really hard because they want it to sell really well.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It'll probably sell decently, but I think that they're maybe afraid. I mean, I've never been a fan of Far Cry, so I don't know what the statistics are here. But it could be that they're afraid that if they don't push it hard, it's not going to have the kind of success they want to see out of it.
I could see that being the case. Yeah, I mean, the actor who plays the villain does a cool job talking about it, and other than that, it looks like a Far Cry game, and thus I'm probably not gonna play it.
Yeah.
We also heard
people I've met who love Far Cry though, or like they love Far Cry.
Definitely true. Some other random announcements from Ubisoft, nothing too crazy. But the two, I guess, biggest ones to me, at least most interesting, Rocksmith Plus seemed like an interesting announcement.
That actually was really cool.
The big change being that you can use your phone as a microphone, allowing to use an acoustic guitar for Rocksmith. You don't have to buy like their special adapter cables or anything to play Rocksmith. You can just use your phone as a mic and it'll work with any guitar.
Well, that should be good for that.
Yeah, it was really cool. My brother was actually talking about he wanted to get an electric guitar. I thought, that would be a really cool way to, make it a little easier to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then
reducing friction for the customers always win, business and experience wise. So that's cool.
What do you think about Rocksmith actually? So you're the resident guitar player. Have you ever tried Rocksmith?
No, I don't know. It's just not my kind of thing. I've spoken to a few others who have played it and have actually learned a lot from it.
Interesting.
So it's got some kind of merit to it. I don't know. For me, I'm not sure. If I want to spend my time playing guitar, I don't want to play a game like that, I guess.
Fair.
I don't know how else to articulate it.
And then Ubisoft, in their classic fashion, as always, gave us that end of conference big IP reveal. And
which was what? Which one?
This year, it was Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Yes. James Cameron's Avatar, the video game. What fuck?
What a weird intellectual property.
Yeah, it's like
apparently
it looks successful. Cool.
I mean, Avatar.
Do you remember a single thing from that movie?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do you remember?
It was
a character's name from that movie.
No, I do not remember. No, well, no, yeah. The guy's name was It was very catchy and like short syllabic. But I can't remember what his name was. I remember the visuals of the movie though.
Yeah, because that was the thing. That's the thing the movie was like hyped up for, was like how like good it looked. Right. That was like the whole thing at the time. I think it was also one of the first movies that like did like the whole 3D thing.
Well, it did a specific type of 3D too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, Avatar the game, I guess it looks fine. We'll see. I don't have anything else to say about that. Let's move on to our next conference. They didn't show any
real gameplay. It was all cinematic. Yeah.
Yeah. Our next conference, E3 did a conference, or EA did something, right? Or did they not? Was Battlefield just at Microsoft?
Battlefield
even
so they released a Battlefield teaser, I think even before Summer Games Fest.
No, but I'm talking about the gameplay reveal. That was in the Microsoft conference.
That was in the Microsoft one.
Okay, so next we have Bethesda.
The Microsoft Bethesda Megaton
Microsoft Bethesda combo package. We got a lot of stuff there, but I mean, overall, there was some really good stuff, some really cool trailers, I thought. What, do you have a highlight? I mean, okay, we know Anthony's highlight, so we'll let him go last. Do you have a highlight you remember from Microsoft Bethesda, Josh?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, we got things like Starfield, we got Stalker 2, we've got...
So I'm going to bring up, actually, not a big name thing. I was actually very excited when Eiyuden Chronicles was shown, because I'm a Kickstarter backer for Eiyuden Chronicles. So it was really cool for me to see a game that I kickstarted show up in like Microsoft's big like E3 presentation. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I'm trying to remember Eiyuden Chronicles.
Oh yeah,
it was like an indie RPG basically. Not really indie because it's the company that, or the developers behind it are all industry, like known industry. They worked on Suikoden, I think. But they're like they're not really indie. They just kind of made their own studio.
It's the game where they announced the game and also the sequel before the game's out.
It's not a sequel, it's a prequel. So the way actually that came about was they made a like an action RPG like prequel for the game. And it's like basically to flesh out the characters before the start of the game, because there's supposedly there's 100 different character stories in the actual game, right? So in order to set up some stuff, they have a smaller action RPG game that is going to come out first.
Interesting.
It's like basically our Discord experience before our game.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, there you go. For all you RPG fans, check that shit out. My highlight, I think, was Atomic Heart trailer. I've been looking at that game for that game for like ever. It's made by BioShock developers. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. And honestly, that trailer was amazing. It was so like, it had a very cool like feel and theme to it that made the game feel very unique.
I think it did a great job of communicating what I think will end up being like some of its most unique aspects.
I agree completely. So I'm super hyped for that. We also got Party Animals release date 2022. Like, why is that game
Party
not out
Animals
yet?
on console couch like multiplayer is gonna be a fucking riot, man. I cannot wait.
Yeah, see you in a year.
Yeah. No, but we're gonna play that shit locally.
It's not that far away. I mean, honestly.
Well, we don't know when in 2022, so
that's fair.
We also
Who
got
releases first, us or Party Animals?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we also got a pretty meta trailer that I know Anthony liked. I'm assuming Halo's your highlight, but I want to talk a little bit about the Outer Worlds 2 trailer first.
God, that was such a good trailer. I mean, like when it first comes on, for the people who are listening who maybe saw it and can't connect the dots, Outer Worlds 2 is that it was a really funny one in which the narrator is narrating over the CG sequence that's really highly polished and shit, but he's saying stuff like, "Oh, and now people running for no reason, but it makes it exciting and should help pre-sale numbers." Yeah. Now they have a jetpack, and here's the silhouette of the player, but just a silhouette because the devs haven't settled on it. In fact, they haven't finished anything. All they finished is the name of the game, and like very good. Like I was laughing in real life, like 3 times during that trailer. I laughed out loud a little bit. So
yeah,
that was very funny.
All right, Anthony, before we go on to the rest of the Microsoft conference, give us your highlight.
Yeah, well, okay. Hey, I was actually going to say first, before Halo, one thing I really respected out of the Microsoft presentation was that they gave like 5 minutes to Stalker, not because it's Stalker, but because the pacing of that trailer was not like high octane E3 shit. You know what I mean? They had these like cuts to the fire sequences, then cuts to gameplay, cuts to the fire sequence. So it was just like, I don't know, a rather more artistically delivered trailer. And so I'm happy that they gave 5 minutes to that. You know what I mean?
I feel like to convey such an atmospheric game, you really need that, right? Like Stalker, that game is very clearly like all about the atmosphere. And so like and I liked it. I've never played a Stalker game, but I was like, that looks cool. I tried to play the first game a long time ago, and it was just a little too outdated for me to really get into.
Fair. Yeah. And also I'm like chronologically remembering the show. The Battlefield gameplay trailer was dope. That was super. I'm usually don't get too into Battlefield, but I'm definitely at least trying the open beta.
Me too, for sure.
On that one.
It looks great. And 128 player servers is fucking crazy.
Yeah, 128, 64 v 64. Yeah, that's Battlefield looking good, and no battle royale. Like, I mean, okay, I'll get into that in a sec after the Halo one, but like, let's go. You know, finally, fucking. I don't know. They're putting developer time behind these other modes. Not to say there might not ever be one, but it does my heart good to see no battle royale on that show.
Another few highlights, I guess, if we're stalling to get to Halo, because we know Anthony's going to talk about it for the next hour. We got, I know a game called A Plague Tale came out a few years ago, A Plague Tale Innocence or whatever I think it was called, and everyone said it was really good, and I've never gotten to it, but Plague Tale Requiem's trailer was fucking sick. That was the one with all like the rats flooding into the road and shit. Like that made that game look sick. So I'm probably gonna check out the first one.
That trailer gave me PTSD. Like,
really?
Also, 12 minutes.
I told you about my rat stories.
12 minutes.
Boy.
Can we talk about 12 minutes, dude?
So 12
Annapurna, minutes? my babies, Annapurna.
How does that work? You continuously respawn and replay the same 12 minutes of reality?
We don't know.
Wait, wasn't that game already out?
No, 12 minutes.
It was announced.
It was announced. It was announced. That's
Top down, 12-minute guy living in a 12-minute time loop who has to save his wife from the police breaking down the door to arrest him for the murder of his family.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I love these like time travel-y like puzzle things. They're like my favorite. So like I'll probably play that.
I definitely will as well. I think it'll be sick. Kind of disappointed that Starfield, all we got was a cinematic trailer with no other information. I mean, we got the release date, but I don't want the release date for a game I don't know anything about.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything out of it. I seeing the trailer, I'm not significantly, if at all, more excited.
It just
about
looked like generic space game. Like they didn't show anything. I was like, what the fuck?
The only thing that caught my attention was that as the guy walks into the ship, he puts a gun down, and I was like, why would they show the gun if it wasn't the fact that it will be needed? You know what I mean?
It's like Fallout, right? You expect guns in Bethesda games that are representing like modern times. So
okay, I guess maybe the better way of articulating that is like, hey, if you the way it was sort of delivered was like some charming space adventure game, but there's this gun, so implying like there's, I don't know, for me at least it seemed like maybe there would be a twist to what I'm expecting is what the way it was delivered.
Okay, what do you think about Starfield, Josh? You're an RPG boy.
Shit.
I actually I have not been on top of. The only Bethesda game I have played is Skyrim.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mostly because I mean, I only had Nintendo consoles until like I was in college. So like my history is like Nintendo games and PC too, but my PC historically was not powerful enough. So it's kind of the same thing. I didn't have a good enough computer to play a lot of games until I was in college.
Fair.
So you'll notice that a lot of my repertoire is more indie stuff or older stuff or like you know, Nintendo stuff. Like
okay. Well, Anthony, it's time before we move on from the Xbox conference. We got to talk about the only reason you watched E3. So give it to me.
I've got to say, it's hard for me to imagine realistically like a better Halo showing from the perspective
comeback.
Yeah, because up to this point we have not seen anything of multiplayer. We just came off of Halo 5, which was like hardcore advanced movement. It was we have yet to see over the last 6 years how 343 had synthesized the feedback from Halo 5 multiplayer, right? So that's one thing. The other thing was like they were saying there was not going to be any campaign, and just the little bit that they showed of the campaign, first of all, like continues regardless of like where the tech was last year. The emotional tone of the story and all of the pieces they've shown so far is on such the right track. Like, so it feels so Halo. And this continued that. And there was like some narrative implications with Cortana getting deleted. Then yeah, so like the last thing, the multiplayer, again, I'm so fucking happy we didn't come out of that with like some BR like beta or some shit. Like the things they focused on were like this equipment focus to the Halo multiplayer stuff, where they showed the grapple, they showed this fucking cool repulsor thing, by the way. It's the thing I was like most excited about.
I saw your
like
TikTok about it.
Yeah, the shield that bounced back the plasma pistol to reverse noob combo somebody, and apparently you can like repulse the ground and boost yourself. You can repulse people, you can repulse vehicles and shit. I can't wait to use that stuff. But like that was how I would sum up that multiplayer reveal. It was like I finished watching it being like, I can't wait to do that stuff. Like and it looks, again, not to, like it's hard to say, but like it looks like Halo. It looks like a modern take on Halo, which is exactly what I wanted. So I yeah.
Do you think sorry, go ahead, Josh.
No, the coolest thing like from that I remember from that trailer was the bit with the grenade where like he throws the grenade and like it knocks the weapon and he picks up the weapon and just like it's just like a seamless animation. Like I think it was it the energy sword that like it picks up and just goes like it's just like the seamless. It looks so good.
No, I that plays into like they kept in Halo 1, 20 years ago, they had this physics element to it. Like you could throw the grenade and you could send it to yourself, right? They call it combat evolved. So like them keeping that stuff, focusing in on that stuff is like what I'm saying. It feels like Halo. It's like that's the shit I want to do, anyway. So anyway, yes, that was cool.
Awesome. I'm curious, what do you think that were you feeling better about the visuals of the game? Because I know visuals were the thing that really struck us as horrible in the first trailer. So what did you think? So I'll give you my opinion after.
Yeah, I totally feel way better. Okay, like the way I would describe it is that when we saw it last year, what it looked like was this team definitely needs more time. Like that's just like not done. You have pop in for an E3 trailer.
Right.
You know what I mean? This year, it feels more like it's where it's supposed to be, meaning like that the aesthetic decisions that are made look like art style decisions and not like tech shortcomings, if you will. Mm-hmm. And some of the main core things like the Spartan armor. Okay, it's hard to describe, but the Halo 5 Spartan armor there's fans, but it was fucking ass, man. Like some of the Halo 5 armors, we've talked about it before in Discord. It's like I'm not even exaggerating here. I'll put it in the Discord, but it's like they took Squidward's house and they made a helmet, and that was the fucking helmet. And on top of the fact that like the way customization worked and everything was ass, like the customization details, the personal AI, I don't know if you saw that, but like you can like choose your personal AI and you can kind of configure like what the AI does and helps you with and all that stuff. That was all like, so, I don't know, so good. So very exciting. But anyway, yes, overall with the graphics, it looks now like it's where it's supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I also felt it was much better. There was one scene where I saw one texture that I was like, ew, that looks gross. And that was it. Everything else I thought looked really good. It was one of the zoomed out scenes of that outdoor area. Because at the very beginning, I thought this was very clever of them. That at the very beginning of the trailer, they showed the camera zooming over the area that was in the previous E3 or that was in the reveal last year to be like, hey, look, this doesn't look like shit anymore. And there was still one wall in that I was like, that still looks like shit. But everything else looked like so much better. I was very impressed as well. I was like, this looks way better.
Skylar's sniper eyes.
I saw it. I was like, that wall sucks.
I was losing a left nut over that fucking flyover. I mean, that is just something so different. I cannot imagine like moving through a Halo ring, like that amount of space in a Halo ring. I'm gonna go fucking crazy. Like from a lore perspective, I'm like, whatever. So very super excited. Halo. And here's a really rare thing, okay? Nobody hates Halo more than Halo fans. And even the Halo fans are all, okay, not all, but generally very much in consensus on like it being a great showing and being really excited about what's coming. Don't even see like the no hate, the no sprint club, not even that there's and I'm going to break down the footage because we have to see. I have to play and see before I give my verdict on Halo Infinite sprint implementation. Okay. It doesn't look like it's 5. But anyway, just to say, the community is actually rather unanimously happy, and that's fucking weird as shit. So that's good.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll get more conversations between Anthony and I about Halo as we get closer. Maybe if Anthony gets into the insider program, we'll really hear some stuff.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And if not, we'll definitely play it on release and talk about it.
Yo.
So next we have Square Enix. There was really not that much from that I cared about.
Was kind of disappointing.
I wasn't sure if Josh, I think you had the best chance of caring about anything from it, and I don't know if you did.
I mean, I think the most interesting thing out of it was what was it called?
I'll read you. We got Guardians of the Galaxy, we got Legends of Mana, we got Black Panther, we got Hitman, we got Nier Reincarnation, we got Final Fantasy VII stuff, We got Babylon's Fall.
That was all stuff we know about already.
Life is Strange.
Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall.
The new Platinum Games title.
Yeah, Babylon's Fall looked good. And there was the Final Fantasy Origins or something.
Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
The very long name.
Yes.
Yeah, that I was actually pretty excited because they said they'd drop a trailer like immediately after. Trailer was broke. Not the trailer. The demo.
Oh.
They said they drop a demo immediately afterwards. Demo was broken for like 2 days. Nobody could play it. It was very disappointing.
Okay.
I haven't gone and played the demo yet. They did patch it, so it's fixed. And it's only for, I mean, the demo's out for PS5, right? So
marketing made the call on that way before the development team got any input on whether that was a good idea.
I actually immediately afterwards I tried to download the demo, and it just says like the file is corrupted. Like when you try to play it.
Marketing's like, we want to be able to announce a demo at the end of E3, make it happen, and the dev team like, fuck you guys. Anyway,
it looked cool though. But I mean, I think the most disappointing thing about Square Enix's E3 was that, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first minute that they spent on Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, this looks like a cool game. Every minute longer that they showed it, I just felt less and less interested in the game.
I agree 100%. That was
And they spent like almost 20 minutes on it. Like, I feel like if they had only spent 1 minute on it, so many less people would be upset about. Like, it would have been like they still wouldn't have shown a whole lot, but people wouldn't have been as furious, like as Twitter was like burning how much people were like so like pissed at Square for like spending so much time on a game that nobody wanted. Like,
no, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, and they really dug their own grave because, like I said, the first minute I was like, this looks cool, and then they just kind of like dug themselves their own grave, just like showing more and more of the game, and like the rest of the game once they showed it was like, it looked like walking simulator. I mean, like there was just so much walking.
Hey, don't give a bad name to walking simulators. There are some good ones.
No, walking simulators are.
If you say it looks like a walking simulator, I'm interested. It didn't.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be a walking simulator. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the trailer that showed at the beginning. It was like there was like some action. There was some like choice sort of like, branching paths sort of ish things maybe. And they went and showed it, and like they showed a whole bunch of nothing basically.
Yep. All right. Last but not least, we got Nintendo. We gotta start with that fucking amazingly well done. I don't care if you're not excited for Kazuya. I don't really give a shit about. I love Tekken, and I don't even give a shit about Kazuya being in Smash. That was so great. But that trailer was so fun. Nintendo,
it was such a troll.
So many consistently good trailers. Every single character trailer for Smash Ultimate has been, in my opinion, one of the best game trailers like ever made. They've done such a good job. When Sephiroth fucking stabs Mario, and that's just like through his overall, that shit was amazing. And this one, when he throws Kirby and then he like flies. It was so good. Such a good trailer.
He walked up, and it doesn't show him at first. It's like just shows like Gandorf dead. Like the Gandorf is like his eyes rolled back, and is like, and everyone's like, wait, this isn't Breath of the Wild. Wait, I thought we were getting Breath of the Wild news. Like, and it's like that's not Gandorf from Breath of the Wild. And then he's just like, and it's the Smash Brothers, right?
Yep.
But it's like, and then Nintendo didn't show Breath of the Wild 2 until the very, very end. Yeah. So like everyone was just like, they were just like, it's just like a tease at the beginning, Yeah,
that's not even. I think that's actually a pretty interesting character for what it's worth. Like, I'll be interested to play as him in Smash if.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's done a very
interesting new moveset.
Yeah, they've done a very interesting job of adapting fighting game characters into Smash, and it's always cool to see how they decide to do it. So I'll be interested to see as well.
Yep. Soul Bad Guy next.
Yeah, please give me that Guilty Gear shit.
So side note, was that the last guy?
No, there's one more.
No, there's one more.
One more.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what that is. So other games that came out on Nintendo, as you all we got.
Look, you maybe should start with me because I'm a Nintendo normie, and so
I was just gonna go through them. But if you want to talk about a highlight for you, go for it.
I just wanted to say that I was surprised. Now, okay. What I was gonna say is I was surprised how not overall excited our audience on Instagram was about the Nintendo Direct, but they don't necessarily skew Nintendo all the time. But like my impression was that it was dope, right? They dropped Breath of the Wild 2 info, which Brittany was
everybody
like,
has been waiting for so long. Yeah,
the Smash announcement we just talked about was dope. WarioWare, like they, I don't know, I don't want to
spoiling.
Like, steal. Yeah, I didn't want to spoil what you guys said, but my impression was that it was fucking cool. You know, like there was a lot of cool news, and I don't know. In my opinion, Nintendo Directs usually disappoint. Like for me,
you think
like,
so?
I actually, in my opinion, this was weak.
Overhyped.
This was very weak for me. I mean, this was like mid. This was like mid-level Nintendo Direct for me. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. That's interesting. This was like in my head, like one of the best ones.
Yeah.
I would not say it was one of the best ones.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Good.
I thought it was fine. Yeah, I thought it was like mid to above average, but I don't think it was one of the best ones either. Okay, so we got Super Monkey Ball, but it's just a remake, which is stupid.
I missed that. Fuck, sweet.
We got Super Monkey Ball Banana.
It's like 2 games, right?
It's remastering of the first 3 games.
Oh, 3 games.
But the big thing, in my opinion, is that it's coming out on PC. It's on everything, including PC. So getting Monkey Ball on PC is sick. But they also have the mini games are local co-op only. They did not remaster them for any sort of online play, which is, of course, stupid because those games are really fun and it would have been fun to play them online. But I mean, it's fine. I would have liked the new Monkey Ball game. Fuck that shit. Stop remastering games.
Well, I don't know. In my opinion, some of these remasters have been tests of is there still interest in this intellectual
But
property?
there's been tons of interest for a long time on Monkey Ball. Like they should have made a new game, especially when they fucked the last one up so badly. Next we got new Mario Party. The last Mario Party game was very content light. It needed way more maps, and my friend Ben, and friend of the podcast, another big Nintendo guy, was pissed that this wasn't just like a DLC for the new Mario Party, because that game was definitely not worth the full price of a game. I think it just like had no content compared to the older Mario Parties.
Yeah, it didn't even have online for a long time.
Yeah, and it had like 4 maps, right?
Yeah, but that Mario Party only got online because they were testing the online for this Mario Party.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It came out without online. Yeah.
It didn't have online until like a few months ago. Like they literally only gave this Mario Party online so that the one that they just announced would have tested online.
That's weird.
Yeah, so
you think you just take an L at some point?
Yeah,
You're
right.
like, yeah, this one will just go down as sucking.
Well, hopefully this one will be better. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we got Rollick's favorite announcement of E3, which he thought was hopefully going to be Metroid Prime 4, but instead it was Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread.
Are you hyped, Josh? What do you think?
It is very hype. My brother is also very hype. My brother's a big Metroid fan. But this is especially hype because, Metroid Dread was like canceled. It was like the name had already like been used. It was the theoretical, it was like one of those things that, like, if you like research some stuff, and you were looking for the next Metroid game, it was a canceled Metroid game. The game had been, as was described, that game had been in development hell for 15 years. Like everyone assumed that game was dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it was announced. Yeah,
it was in development for 15 years.
It got like Omega canceled, I believe. People assumed it was canceled after like 3 or 4 years, I thought, and then it just like appeared randomly, and they're like, "By the way, here you go."
Because what was explained was that the devs were waiting for hardware to be powerful enough to support what they wanted to do with the game.
Well, I mean, I don't even know. Like when people announced Metroid Dread, when they announced Metroid Dread, and people were talking about it, I'm like, wait. So is Metroid 5 coming out before the 4 they announced? And then there's like, no, it's 2D, and then Prime is 3D.
There's 2 different, there's like 2D Metroid games and 3D Metroid games. The Prime games are the 3D games. So Prime 4 has not come out yet, right? Yeah, that's the first-person shooter style game, right?
Yeah.
Metroid 5, which is Metroid Dread, is in the 2D Metroid vein of, like Metroidvanias. That's where like it's like those games were like, along with Castlevania, were like the founders of that genre. So it's very I mean, especially in the past couple years, that genre has gained a lot of popularity. There's been a lot of really good indie games that have been Metroidvanias. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even know there was a 3D shooter one. I had only heard of the 2D Metroid game.
Yeah,
so
as Rollick says in the chat, most of the Metroid community actually prefers the 2D games, and the 2D games have long been like championed as really good games. So
I got
sense.
Well, I'm saying all this just to say that just not even knowing about Metroid and you explaining that story, I'm hyped it came back. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So
if we're going to talk about other series that came back after a long time, Advanced Wars. I mean, Advanced Wars has been dead. I mean, I was disappointed that there was no Fire Emblem shown, but Advanced Wars is really hyped because that. I mean, it's the same kind of game.
Wars,
Too bad it's a fucking remake.
Yeah, but I mean, a remake is
better than a remaster. Yo, remake better than remaster for sure. You're not wrong. Like, it's cool.
It's something. I mean, right? I mean, especially if like theoretically, if they're using this to gauge interest in a new game, like Anthony was saying, that could potentially be really good.
Yeah. So Advanced Wars, Anthony, is like a turn-based tactics game, basically.
Top down. Like Final Fantasy Tactics?
I've never played it, but Josh,
I fucking love Final Fantasy Tactics, dude.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. We'll see how good it is, because, I mean, I feel like Into the Breach kind of fucked on all tactics games forever to come. Like, everyone just thinks that's, like, the best tactics game that's ever been made. So we'll see how well it does.
But, I mean,
have you played Into the Breach, Josh?
I haven't.
If you like tactics games,
people will buy the second best thing.
I think so too. We also got more Mario Golf stuff. We can skip that. Mario Golf's been announced for a long time. I'm hyped for that game though.
It looks good, yeah.
Wasn't there one on the 64?
Yes, that was the first.
Yeah,
Mario Golf game.
I played the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'm excited. We also got Fatal Frame remaster, fucking remasters all over. But this one I'm more okay with. Fatal Frame is a horror game where you take pictures of ghosts.
Okay.
The reason I'm more okay with it is because this game came out on the Wii U.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, it came out on the Wii U and got like no traction. And the Fatal Frame series is actually really cool and really unique, like series. So it would be. I'm excited that I could like actually play it now, and hopefully it won't look like it looked on the Wii U, but it probably will, and then I probably won't play it.
Yeah, hopefully not. If it's a good series, not familiar with it, but that's an interesting. I don't know. We don't get to see the details of how these decisions get made, but would be cool imagining that Nintendo goes to the devs and is like, "Hey, we know this didn't get its fair time in the sun. How about we try something like a remaster to let people in on how good it was?"
I think they've been doing that a lot with Wii U games.
Yeah, it's because the Wii U just wasn't.
The Wii U just didn't do that well compared.
There's a person. Okay, there's a person in our Discord, Toby. If he ends up hearing this somehow, who has generally a pretty big beef with the Switch and the games released on the platform because he feels like it's mainly Wii U remakes.
It is a lot of Wii U remakes. That's not wrong. Yeah,
I would not say it's mainly, but there are definitely a lot.
Yeah, you can't say it's mainly Wii U remakes when all of the original like new games that have come out have been like some of the best games like of the last decade.
Yeah, I just I'm bringing it up because you guys are talking about it, and I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to it, but I'm like, they have said remakes a lot.
Yeah, it is a thing. I mean, I honestly think like right now is the age of video game remakes, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. Lots and lots of stuff.
We moved away from battle royales into remakes.
That's interesting. I felt like, I don't know, Nintendo maybe would change my mind about it, but generally speaking, I feel like that happened, I don't know, in the Western game space, more in like the 2010s, where like fucking everybody remade
We're still
something.
seeing remakes every single conference. There's at least a few remakes from every developer. I don't think we're out of it yet.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is to get, a younger generation who didn't have the opportunity to play older games, who now don't feel the need to go back.
No, bullshit. We did a podcast on this already.
Like
it's a cash grab. It's a cash grab. They don't when you remake a game.
It's definitely also a cash grab.
When you remaster a game, you don't improve the graphics.
Grab. No. Yeah, remaster versus remake. You're right. Yeah, when you remaster a game, it doesn't count. Yeah, you're right. But it's also true that for a lot of game series, kids don't necessarily feel like going back and playing older games that have worse graphics because they're used to better graphics.
Well, and to your point, literally, Link's Potter right now is playing through the old Halos because, and he's using the anniversary stuff. So
right, using the remake. There's a difference though. Remake, well, and the new Halos are basically a remake. If it's a remake, I'm okay with it, but I still honestly believe there's only been one good, maybe two if Halo is good, two good remakes ever: Demon Souls and Halo. So, in my opinion, those are the only ones that have justified their costs.
Fair.
I disagree. There have been a couple others.
Well, anyway, that's not what this podcast is about.
Yes, we're not. This is not a remakes versus remasters or whatnot.
So, what did you think of Breath of the Wild?
Hold on, we got one more before we go to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
My bad. Nintendo.
I saved my favorite for last. Well, for second to last because I want Josh and you guys to talk about Breath of the Wild too. But we got WarioWare.
Yeah, WarioWare looks like so much fun.
One of my favorite game series of all time.
I only played one before.
It wasn't
even mine. I played on somebody else's DS.
Yeah. So the original one is on Game Boy Advance. Played that one. There's a remake. There was like a weird port of the Game Boy Advance one to GameCube that I played as well. There was the DS one, I think 2 or 3 on the DS. There was one on Wii as well, which was really good. And then there was a weird WarioWare adjacent, like in-universe but not WarioWare game called Game & Wario on the Wii U, which honestly, if anyone has a Wii U and you want a game that actually uses the asynchronous nature of the gamepad extremely well, that and like Nintendo Land are the only 2 games that did it. Like check out Game & Wario, but this one seems cool. My only worry is that I hope it's not like co-op only, because it seemed like it's focusing mostly on co-op, and like that's cool, but like I hope it maintains the single player experience as well.
Yeah, they showed the co-op in the Nintendo Treehouse, but they did say that you didn't have to be co-op.
Yeah, so I think it'll be really cool, and co-op sounds fun. Obviously, like that game's great, so I'm gonna play the fuck out of that. Okay, Breath of the Wild 2. Let's hear it, boys. I still haven't finished Breath of the Wild 1, so I can't really talk about how excited I am for Breath of the Wild 2.
And I only lived, passively through Brittany's hype. She was hyped as fuck. She said it was her highlight of the entire E3 conference. So
wow,
give us some context, Josh.
As somebody who has beaten Breath of the Wild twice and completed all the shrines and done all the extra side quests.
Have you gotten all the Korok seeds?
I did not get all the Korok seeds because fuck that. Oh, excuse my language. My brother did though.
Okay.
Yes, because he's even more insane than I am. But yeah, so I am very hyped for this. I had some concern about how they were going to make the game feel fresh, quote unquote reusing the old world map, because they did say that they were going to use the same world map. So I assumed they were going to change some locations or something. But a lot of Breath of the Wild was that kind of exploration of the world map. So for someone who's played it before, and granted, I played it twice because it kind of doesn't get old, right? I mean, but there is something to say about having new content, and seeing the whole, the floating islands in the trailer was really hype. With all the new abilities and stuff, how Link made that, he had this kind of like back in time sort of thing where like he reversed the trajectory of that like big metal rolling ball. That was really cool. There was the whole like phasing through the floor of the. I don't really understand what a whole bunch of stuff is, because it's still, as of yet, we don't have a lot of explanation for stuff. But I thought it was super cool seeing all that stuff, and Link's new hand and haircut, which I find a little confusing because when did his hair grow so much? But
I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But
yeah,
it sounds like you're hyped.
It feels like some time travel stuff going on, and I love time travel stuff, so.
Yeah, Doctor Who Stan down here.
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't go that far.
And that, I mean, there was a Capcom conference, but it was very disappointing. Yes. I didn't even bring it up.
Although, to be fair, Perlock Sholmes.
Wait, I didn't see that. Wait, what's that?
Yes, that was Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney.
The Chronicles, right?
Yes, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Uh-huh.
That game I'm actually excited for.
Fair.
Just because I love Ace Attorney games. So they have a very, I appreciate the humor and everything. And this game isn't new, right? This game is actually, this is 2 games that came out in Japan the past few years that never got localized because it was just so difficult to figure out how to localize all the specific cultural references for a Western audience.
Right.
But apparently they finally done it. So I am actually very excited about that.
Nice.
And I just find the name Herlock Sholmes hilarious. So
that's funny. Okay. Well, Anthony, where can people find us? Oh, wait. Do we have a Patreon question? Just kidding.
Oh, yeah, I was just looking at that.
JK,
oh, wait,
LOL,
that's why.
Patreon question.
Patrons. No, we answered them all.
All right. Well,
wait.
Patrons ask more questions.
The problem is that
Marcus asked one Patreon question, which we'll use since we don't have another one. Marcus's Patreon question was, when are you guys going to freaking play Doom Eternal?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I started it a while ago. I enjoyed it. I got pretty far. I think I played a couple hours of it. But then I played
the first Doom.
Then I ADD'd away. I ADD'd away into a different game.
I don't know why I called you Jude.
It's a mixture of Josh and Dude.
Josh, you need to play. You need to stream that first.
Yes. I played 5.5 hours of Eternal.
Yeah.
5 hours?
5.5. So I have a lot of time in Eternal. I just need to finish it. So I'll go back to it at some point.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about streaming it because of my ineptitude at shooters. So
doesn't matter. I'm gonna be streaming Eternal on mouse and keyboard.
Yes, I can't wait. Anyway, when are you gonna play it, Anthony?
So the answer to you, Marcus, is I need to clear a fuck ton of hard drive space. There's been 2 times recently where I'm like, I'm gonna download and play it. And I'm like, fuck, I have to move all my photos off this and whatever. So
okay,
it's coming
soon. TM. All right, now where can people find us?
You can find us at koalaentertainment.com. There you find links to all our social media, including, most importantly, our Discord, where we run 2 custom bots that facilitate an online game. We're kind of like, what was that game, Aiden Chronicles, that has an ARPG? Yeah, that's kind of it. You know how they have a game to announce their game and to like tie you into their main game? Same thing here. We have an idle game in our Discord that people can play, not only to familiarize themselves with the lore of the upcoming universe, make friends, and get auto entered into giveaways, but more stuff. I'm not.
You want to be in the fucking Discord at the end of this month? I'll tell you that much.
Yes, you do.
Stuff.
You want to be paying attention. But yes, join. Get auto entered into Discord giveaways when you're level 6, and follow us on Instagram. We do giveaways every 3 weeks there. So look, if you want free stuff, we're where it's at. Thank you to all our patrons for your amazing support, for helping us. We're actually now halfway to our 2nd goal. Thank you so much. It goes a long way in helping cover studio expenses, which right now is just all out of our own pockets. So one day, maybe we'll take over the world. That'll be cool. Until then, also, if you want to come talk to us about E3, join the Discord. Talk to us about it in E3. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Muchas gracias.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, everybody.
Expert knowledge.
Of course. Once again.
Oh, wait. And last, I'm sorry. For those people who still listen, next week, we have a guest.
Oh.
We have a guest.
We do?
Mr. Joe. I'm going to screw up his name, but Joe Rakaul in the Discord server. He is currently a producer at Undead Labs, working on Undead Labs works on State of Decay. I don't know if that's what he's working on right now, but we'll find out next week. Talk all more. He has over a decade of experience in the games industry. Should be a lot of fun talking to him.
Cool.
He's also a Gary V fan. That's how I found it.
Okay, fair enough.
So yes, we do giveaways to welcome our guests, to accommodate our guests. So blah, 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 generosity, hospitality, all that goodness. So until next time, next week, next Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Bye, everyone.
All right, see ya.